Hey everyone, this is a show that I have been waiting for a couple of weeks. And that is because I care about the one rental at a time brand message. I want to help people. And this guest has helped me immensely already. And he's invested time kind of looking into the next layer, meaning my onerentalatatime.com website. So let's welcome Stace to the show. How you doing, man?
I am doing great. It's been a busy couple of weeks here since we last talked, but I'm happy to be back on the show, and we're going to talk about your website today. That makes me very excited.
Yeah, me too. I mean, again, I'll just put it out there. My website was something I created because that's what everybody has. Everybody has a website. There was no thoughts, no mentions, no planning, no anything. So I look forward to this. So I think we need to start with what's the purpose of a website, because I think I got it wrong right out of the gate. So let's just go crawl, walk, run. What is the purpose of a website from your perspective? How should it be used? How should it be a part of a bigger plan? And just show me let's talk about what I could have done.
Right. Yeah, I'll rewind about 20 some odd years and just go back in the history of websites. And so I first got involved in digital marketing in the late 90s, and a website was sort of a new thing at the moment. It was a bright, shiny thing, and everybody had to have one, like you're saying. But as we've evolved as digital marketers and entrepreneurs and business owners, we see different purposes of our website, and it has to do something more than just be there. It can't be like a doorstop. I mean, it's got to be something that's active. It has to be something that is moving people on to the next stage of, in marketing, we talk about the conversion funnel, getting people from awareness to consideration to purchase. Your website has to be part of that, has to be an active part of that. And it's interesting looking at your website, it actually, your website functions in all three phases of generating awareness, increasing consideration for your brand or your products, and converting people to customers, from leads to customers. So
Purely by accident. That's a happy accident right there, because I had no idea when I was putting it together. That's what I was doing.
yeah, no, absolutely. But let's think about this from like a basic understanding of what your website should be doing in your marketing strategy. So you wouldn't build a house without a plan. You wouldn't go and try to get like a business loan without a business plan. Your marketing plan is similar, and website is one piece of that, and it should be, in your case, and for a lot of people listening, it's going to be like the repository of your brand, like where everything lives. It's not the brand itself,
Right.
but it's the place where people are going to find content about you. They're going to find a way to get in touch with you. They're going to find a way to learn more. And in your case, if you have a book or a product, like, so if somebody's out there and they're a syndicator, or if they're a landlord and they've got apartments to rent, your website can, be a listing place for your products or services. So those are some of the things your website starts to do. Let's talk about generating awareness for your brand. So people need to know that you exist, right? So you can't purchase anything unless you know it's there, and if you know that vendor exists or anything like that. Your website says, I'm in business and I'm here and I'm ready to help you in some way. I'm ready to serve you, sell something to you, offer a service, whatever it is. People will find your website through a number of ways. So I think, and we've had this conversation, so people find your website because they've come first through your podcast, or maybe they saw your book on Amazon. In your case, the website isn't really leveraging the brand. The brand the brand exists, and the website is sort of along for the ride. So your website's not currently generating awareness because we don't think there's the traffic that your other media is getting. Like, this podcast is probably getting so much more, whether it's somebody seeing on YouTube or they're listening to it on the podcast app. So the website right now isn't necessarily generating awareness for you. It's probably generating a little, but I don't think people are finding you. I don't think people are Googling how to succeed in real estate investing and coming to your website.
Yeah, I would say no. You are correct.
Yeah, but that's something that you would want, right? I mean, so like if your mission is to help people in real estate like understand that they can achieve this, understand that it's a step-by-step process, understand that it's realistic. You want to reach as many people as possible. And there are people who have not heard of your podcast yet. Believe it or not, there are several individuals who haven't listened. But they might be using a search engine, and you want to be able to generate awareness using the search engine. You want some search engine optimization. Right now, your site probably, when we get to the site critique, I'll mention a couple of things some areas where you can improve. But so awareness is one thing. People know that you exist. Now that they know you exist, they come to the site, they see you, and we want to take them to the next stage, which is to increase consideration. Do I want to purchase from Michael? Do I want to work with Michael? Do I want to rent an apartment from this landlord? So you have to move people to the next stage. And the way you do that is get people to understand what you're offering, why you're offering it, and a little bit about you. And you do that on the site. So obviously there are things that we can improve in anything that we're talking about, but I come away with a great understanding of what you're about.
That's good, because that was really the only thing I thought about when I created the website. Seriously, I was like, okay, if somebody finds this, what do I want them? And I want them just to know who I am as a human being, hence the very, personal pictures and things of that nature. So I got that right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that. And so I know you've got your dog there with you in the studio. Yep. And there are photos of him on, what's his name?
This one's Jimbo.
Jimbo. Okay.
Yeah, Jimbo's not feeling well, folks. So if you hear a little whining on the mic, my mic's pretty good. So if you're hearing that, that's Jimbo whining. That's not me and not Stace. That's my puppy.
Yeah. But Jimbo means a lot to you, and we see that on your website. So if you were the CEO of a large corporation, maybe Jimbo being on your website wouldn't be critical or important. But here, people connect with you personally through your website. They hear your voice, they see your face, they take your advice, and you're a real person to them. So having Jimbo on your website is fantastic, and we'll see that once we go through. So that's generating a little bit of consideration. So now I know a little bit more about Michael. He's a regular person like me, and his brand is all about regular people succeeding in real estate, one rental at a time. This isn't about me buying a 5,000 unit apartment building. It's not about me developing a hotel complex. One rental at a time. You're a real person. You love your dog. I love my dog. And so we're connecting through your website. That's fantastic.
Awesome.
The next thing that a website should be doing is bringing people down a little bit further down the conversion funnel. So I am no longer just an interested lead. I become a paying customer. That's the object of e-commerce. And the website there, I think, can work a little bit stronger doing some of those things. And we'll talk about those things when we jump into the critique. But for anybody listening, if you're in business, you need a website that's going to get people to, if it's calling you, you need to drive them to a phone number or to schedule an appointment with you. If it's a book that you're trying to sell, you need to entice them with the information about the book in a way to purchase it easily. And that's something that you've got on your site. We'll talk about it in a minute. If you have a service, you may want to have reviews so that people see you've done this before. So you have some credibility, you have track record. Those reviews hopefully are wonderful, and they say how great you are. That's going to build trust. That's going to help people make the next step and buy your product or schedule your service or whatever it might be. So website can do a lot of things, and the other pieces of your marketing should be working in concert with that. Like this podcast should be working more closely with the website. The website should be working with the podcast. They should be building on each other. Your social media generates awareness. It also generates consideration. You're probably not making many sales off of a website. It doesn't necessarily work in the product that you're selling. If you're selling socks or some gift item, social media, you could probably sell a $5, $10 item that way. But this is a little bit more difficult, and you want to build a stronger rapport. So, but you understand social media generates awareness, sends people to your website where they go to the next step. So imagine the conversion funnel, lots of people at the top, at the bottom, we've got a few customers. We want to keep moving people through. Your website is a critical part of that. Remember though, so people only will look at a website for a few seconds before making a decision of whether it has what they need, and if it's credible. So we make decisions so quickly, and I forgot the stat, and I did share it with you once, but I think it's something like several seconds or like And like 60% of people will bail after the first couple of seconds if they get the feeling that this isn't a credible website. And what that means is, does it sound like the person who put this up knows how to solve the problem that I have? And
Mhm.
that's something as consumers we are very good at picking up on incredibly quickly. So
Mhm.
your brand is image and substance together. So you don't necessarily need to be flashy, but you have to look credible. You have to look presentable. You can't have any typos on your website, Michael, which I'll point out when we get to those. Uh,
Yeah, I
there
can
are
see that.
small things. But you're not selling a course on writing, so
Yeah.
nobody's gonna really hold that against you. But like if things are misspelled, if they're typos, like those things add up. So like our brand is our image and our substance. Image is the things that people see that's how they're drawn to us, and the substance are the things that make people want to stay and work with us or build loyalty. So those things need to work together.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's basically what a website should do. Website doesn't have to be expensive to build. It should be built on a modern platform. Like there's like GoDaddy offers
Mhm.
a website building tool, which is very simplistic. Squarespace, WordPress, these are ways, Wix even, these are ways to build a website quickly and inexpensively. You're going to need content there, so you should probably work with somebody who's a writer, a content developer, because the website alone is just a box, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you have to fill it with something.
Yeah.
Um, and
What
that'll be the third part of what we're talking about today is how your listeners can build a website or improve their current website to generate more traffic and hopefully conversion so that
Yeah, well,
they're
that's why I came to you. That's why we're investing time together, is because, I went to someone, I forget when I did it, probably 2 years ago, maybe even 2.5 years ago, to build the site, right? There's lots of web developers.
yeah.
And I thought I was done. But it was when I found you, your company, our discussions, that I realized, A, the website's not just a box, to use your phrase. It should be part of a bigger plan. For heaven's sakes, it should be alive. I like that word that you used. Mine's not alive. I don't think it's seen an update in 12 months, 18 months.
Yeah.
Um, and again, I have, yeah. So I mean, if I'm serious about this, you
Mhm.
know, it needs to be more than just something built by a web developer somewhere in the world. And
Right.
other people need to realize that. I don't know about most, many entrepreneurs are probably like me. They have website on their checklist, right?
Right.
Create website. They do what I did. They go on Upworks. They find the person. They find someone in their network. The site gets built. They check the box, but
Right.
it's not alive. There's no plan. There's no, that word alive really hit me when you went through that.
Yeah.
And mine is dead. It's dead.
So one interesting thing, and we'll talk about this more later, is that your site needs to be, by alive we mean it needs to be updated
Yeah.
regularly. Um, and that actually helps with your search engine optimization. Google prefers to send traffic to sites that are updated regularly because
Yeah.
that's a business that's engaged with its audience. And Google has a number of algorithms and
Mhm.
variables in there. And one of them is how frequently is a site updated?
Yeah. Well,
And we'll get to that.
we'll close on this one. And I'll just say, folks, if you're an entrepreneur like me, a business owner who checked the box for web creation because you went to Upworks and you paid somebody to create it, I suggest you watch this video, the next two, because I think you need to hire Stace. And just watch the next video, because we're gonna bring up my site and just talk about what it could be instead of what it is. So Stace, I appreciate your time, man. Have a wonderful day, and we'll get on to video number 2.
Awesome. Thank you.
Uh-huh.